This is the lecture video for section 1.7, rounding whole numbers. The vocabulary term rounding is a number that is close to the original number, but it's actually easier to work with. So an example of why we would round: pretend that you're a part of a planning team for the college that might be discussing a need for more dorm housing. To demonstrate this need, you would not say that the college is in need of 8,235 more dorm rooms. You would probably say that you needed about 8,200 more or even 8,000 more to make this number an easier number to comprehend and to use when you're thinking through the planning. You're trying not to have people get hung up on all the individual digits, but rather have an easier number to identify with and then be able to brainstorm ways that you can make this happen rather than get hung up on the number. All right, so our next page, if I get my mouse to work here. So here's the steps for rounding whole numbers. Step 1 says to locate the place to which the number is to be rounded. Draw a line under that place. Step 2a says look only at the digit to the right of the one that you underlined. If it is 5 or more, meaning 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, you want to increase your underlined digit by 1. Step 2b says if the next digit to the right of the one that you underlined is 4 or less, meaning 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4, do not change the underlined digit. Step 3 says change all digits to the right of the underlined place to zeros. Please pause this and write all these down. If you did not understand any of them, I promise that example at the bottom that I will go through that for you when you're ready for it. So what you want to do is you want to write this number out. Our example problem says round 349 to the nearest 100. So I'm going to write 3, 4, and 9. I have to identify which one is the hundreds place. So I've got ones, tens, and hundreds. So I'm going to underline the hundreds place to tell myself that that's what I'm rounding to. So step 1 says to identify your place value and draw a line under it. So I did that. Step 2 says look at the digit to the right. So I'm looking at this guy right here, this 4. And it says if it's 5 or more, so we're talking about 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, I'm going to add 1 to that 3. But it does not fit this. So I'm going to go down to the next step, and it says if it is 4 or less, meaning it's 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4, we're not going to change the underlying number. So 3 is going to stay as 3. Step 3 says change all digits to the right, meaning that 4 and the 9, I'm going to change them to zeros. And so this is my rounded number. Okay, let's try another one. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm not going to have the right words on here, but I'm going to go ahead and use this bottom space so we can look back through those rules if we needed to. Now that I've written all over everything, let me see here if I can work this out. All right, so we're going to ignore this and we're going to say that this next one says round to the nearest 1,000. And our number is 36,833. So I first have to identify in step 1 where my thousands position is and underline it. So I've got ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. So there's my 6. Step 2 says look to the number just to the right, so I'm looking at the 8, and is it 5 or more? Yes, it is. So we know we're not going to use 2b, we're actually using the 2a because it worked, and we're going to add or increase the underlying digit by 1. So we're going to add 1 to the place value that you're rounding to, which is my 6. So now I have 3, 7, and I can bring down the rest of the numbers if you want me to. And this step 3 tells me that everything to the right of my underlying place value, so this was still my underlying place value section, all of these would become zeros. So my answer is 37000. If it was me, I would have not even written these down here like this. I would have gone ahead and put my zeros in right there. I kind of just like to add 1, and then as I bring on the answer of adding 1, I go ahead and make those zeros. So let's do this one more time. Up here using the rules. Ooh, my eraser's not working very well. Okay, let's try this again. Round it to the nearest 10. The number is 2382. So let's see, we've got 1s and 10s. So that's where we're at. So when I write this number, I have 2, 3, 8, 2, where the 8 is underlined because it's in the tens place. I'm going to look at the number just to the right. So we're looking at the 2, and I see if it's going to be 2A, 5 or more. No, it's not. 2B is if it is 4 or less, do not change it. Well, 2 is 4 or less, so we're not going to change this number. So I'm going to bring down 2, 3, 8, and that 2 becomes a 0 in step 3. So this is my answer. Okay. So if you need further help, make sure that you contact your instructor.